With everything that's been going on since it became clear that Amber defamed Johnny, you'd think her lawyer going around making wild claims means they have grounds for appeal. But little does she know that Judge Penny might actually have a few tricks up her sleeves to shut down her plans, and you won't believe just how bad things are for the actress right now. So, exactly what has come up with the judge on the highly talked about Amber Heard appeal? There have been so many unexpected events since Johnny Depp was announced to have won the case against Amber Heard. And in this long list of different occasions that have occurred since then is Amber's lawyer telling the world that the actress would be appealing the judgment. The reason it seemed like such a far-fetched idea at first was because only a few minutes after the verdict was read and she instantly became more than $8 million in debt to Johnny Depp. She released a statement on Instagram ridiculing the legal system that presided over the case because they didn't side with her. Now, the actress is claiming she wants to appeal the verdict that was given because the jury seemed to find Depp's story more credible than his. And a lot of experts have agreed that appellate courts tend to be reluctant to reassess credibility judgments made by juries, even if this jury's conclusions seem contradictory. That, coupled with the circumstances surrounding Johnny's win, have put the actress and her people on the road to overturning the judgment that was given. But it seems she might have more of a task ahead of her to prove that Judge Penny was nonchalant about her job than she'd like to think. For starters, several experts in matters ranging from family law all the way to criminal prosecution have all agreed on one thing relating to this case, and that is that Amber will have to prove that due judicial process wasn't followed in reaching the outcome that had Johnny Depp emerge on top. This essentially means that the actress's lawyers have to make arguments at the appellate court that there was some sort of foul play involved that led to this appeal. Either that or something relating to Judge Penny not doing her job correctly in aspects of the proceedings, such as educating members of the jury on what and what not to do or overruling objections during the trial while arguments were on. But the thing about these parts is that they will be significantly difficult to prove, especially because the entire trial was televised and there are literally tens of YouTube channels with the complete trial. As such, if there was actually a time when Judge Penny would have even acted less than ideally for a second, she wouldn't have done it in this case because it would be the easiest thing to prove. Now, the thing is that Amber and her people are actually aware that the judge performed her responsibilities to the best possible measure, and because of that, they don't really have a case to make for an appeal. But Amber's lawyer Elaine has been going on a lot of TV interviews in recent times, and she even revealed some of the points their appeal would come from. While her claims of them demonizing Amber might not exactly pull a lot of weight in getting an appeal hearing, she revealed that they might capitalize their appeal on the differences between the outcome here and in the UK cases and how evidence from there was suppressed here. But the single biggest problem with that argument is that besides the fact that the UK and the US are completely different countries, they also use completely different legal systems, and as such, the rules used in one cannot extend and apply to the other. This implies that Judge Penny's ruling of some of the evidence that were introduced in the UK and then not being introduced here, coupled with preventing them from telling the members of the jury the outcome in the UK case were actually the right thing, and that has just made things a lot more difficult for the actress. But Elaine actually mentioned another plan they could use. While still on the interview, the lawyer revealed,
"And I am not perfect. I am a human being. These people were giving her death threats. They threatened to microwave her baby. This is the kind of social media she was getting. So are any of us perfect? No. Is there something else we feel we should have? Yes, absolutely. I redo my closings 100 times afterwards, whether I win or lose. That's part of being a good lawyer, a good trial lawyer, is right. There's always some. But I think that there were a lot of influences here that were beyond our control. And I think the social media, it was like a Roman Colosseum. It is the best way to describe the atmosphere here. And I have to believe that the jury, even though they're told not to go and look at anything, they have weekends, they have families, they have social media.
They were not sequestered.
And the 10-day period we had, how could they not have been influenced?
But Elaine,
although a lot of people would argue that her claims here are outrageous and disrespectful to the people that dedicated their time and resources to presiding over this case. And while they may be right, this could still pose a challenge for Amber's people to get an appeal. For starters, not only will they have to prove that the jurors outrightly disobeyed the judge's orders for them to stay off social media, but they would also have to prove that each juror was influenced by what they saw online, and if we're being honest, that is going to be really complicated. The entire case has moved to social media and is now an entire conversation on its own, with several users online jumping in to give their opinions. One user wrote, "Elaine can't insult continuously ask the same question or sigh at an orange to peel itself. Appealing doesn't work that way. Amber has to post money first, pay to file an appeal and pay the lawyers. which someone with no money cannot do. She lost and ruined her own career. Another user wrote, "I don't know what Amber Heard is going to appeal. I think the evidence was overwhelming on the part of Johnny Depp. She was overwhelmingly seen as a liar and not a credible witness. She was a taker. She hurt battered women. She hurt the women coming forward. If we're going by the looks of things, I'd say it doesn't seem like Amber will be having any luck with this anytime soon. But we'll wait for things to play out before we decide. How about you? Do you think an appeal is the right move for Amber at the moment?"